Hey guys, it's Monday Motivation. So today I'm gonna look at organizing yourself a little bit. I know some of you probably could have utilized this earlier on in the year, but basically it's never too late. You've still got a couple of weeks of exams left, so let's look at how you can utilize your time off during half term. I know it says you have 9 days off, but don't sit there and do nothing, obviously. So organizing your folders, and I'm hoping a lot of you do this now. I'm going to show you now. Being organized is one of the biggest time wasters when it comes to revision. How many times have you pulled out a folder? So we were talking about subject. I'm going to pick on a different subject this week. So let's say you've got that subject, that exam that you're thinking, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. I know I keep saying that, but it's because I want you to know that I know that feeling. I'm not sitting here thinking that every single one of you that's watching this is thinking, I can't wait, I'm so excited, I really want to do all my exams, this is the best time in my life. Okay, I'm not naive enough to think that. But imagine you get your folder out for, let's pick English this week. And it's big and it's thick and it's got everything you've done over the past 2 years, not just this year, but everything. And it's unorganised. So you've written in your timetable, right, I'm going to do 3 hours of English on Friday evening. You get your English folder out, you open it, and it's very much, oh crap, where do I start? And you actually spend half an hour, maybe even 45 minutes or an hour trying to sort through where do I start. If you have an organised folder, it saves you time. So another tip I'd like to bring out in terms of when you're organising your revision timetables. Now, yes, some of this is geared towards GCSE students, but also this is very relevant for those that are doing ASs or A levels or BTECs or level 3 study, and even more so for those that are going on to do university. Organising your work is absolutely key and will save you so much time. But when you write in your revision timetable, none of you should have just written 3 hours of English. That is just too ambiguous because it's not giving you enough direction. So your timetable should say things like 3 hours of English, write flashcards, revising key terms, or complete past paper and mark, or complete mind map for poetry. So it's got to be very specific so that when you look at that timetable, you don't have to sit there and think, right, what am I going to do in English? Because what will happen is you'll probably end up choosing the topic that you've revised before because it's easier. You're not going to think automatically, right, I'm going to do that really hard topic that I keep struggling with. So organise your folder. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. I've got some resources here. So some of you might want to get those resources, and obviously this video will be there for you to play back. But I'm going to give you an example. So 2 years ago, obviously I qualified. I did my PGCE in post-compulsory education, so it's teaching 14 to 19-year-olds religious studies. So I had to learn a lot of that content myself before I was teaching it, and I was teaching the philosophy element of the religious studies AS level. So at the start I had one of these. I have tried to blank that out. I know you might be able to see some of it, but basically I had one of these. This was given to me by my supervisor, and what it does is it breaks down the different modules that I'll be studying. Okay, what I also had, and we gave these to all of the students at the start, is one of these, and this is a breakdown of what the actual examining board are asking for. So this is the unit, Religious Studies, AS, and it was the philosophy element, and within that there was 3 topics that they were studying. Sorry, I'm just trying to get the light right here. So they'd study the cosmological argument, they'd study religious experience, and they'd study psychology and religion. So straight away that gives me the resources that I need to organise my folder. This was right at the front of my folder, so every time I was teaching I knew, every time I was putting anything in that folder I knew this is what the exam board are asking for, this is what I have to ensure that the students know and are aware of in order for them to be able to get a good result. And you need to start doing that as a student. You need to think, what is it the exam board's asking for? It's not good enough for you to just think, right, okay, let me organise my notes, let me just revise everything. What does the exam board want from you in order for you to get the grade that you want? So you should all be using mark schemes by now, and you should be able to break those down and think, right, okay, this is what they're asking for. So here, for example, the cosmological argument, it talks about, and those of you that have done AS religious studies, it will make sense to you, but some of you, you'll be like, the what? So the cosmological argument, it says candidates may refer to any version of the argument but are expected to be familiar with the cosmological argument as proposed by Aquinas with particular reference to its basis in observation, the rejection of infinite regress, God as the first mover and first cause, and as the necessary being. So straight away, I know those are the things the exam board wants me to know. I have to know those, because whatever question they give me in the exam, those are the things that they're going to expect me to be able to reflect on. So if I don't know those basics there, then I can't expect to get a good exam question. And now obviously with a lot of the exams, you might study, let's say using this one, you might study 3 different topics or 3 different modules, but you'll only have to answer questions on 2. So again, you choose the 2 that are strongest. Okay, so anyway, so that's showing you this is one subject, and in the space of a year, students, just for the philosophy element, they would have had to go through 3 different topics. So here's my folder I prepared earlier. Okay, yep. Right in the front there, I've got this plastic wallet I've sellotaped there, and straight away this is what was there, the breakdown of what different topics I had to teach. Now another thing I'm going to point out to you that I did is, as soon as I was told the topics that I did need to teach, if you see here, I kind of broke it down into, okay, I'm going to be teaching them 7 lessons before Easter, 5 lessons after the Easter break, 3 lessons in May, which are pre-exam. So I actually broke my lessons down to that extent, so I knew what content I could get through. I knew exactly I had 10 an hour and 5. Again, like I says, I'm a bit OCD, so you might not do this, but literally I knew that I had 10.5 hours of teaching before the Easter break. So realistically, I needed to make sure that everything that I needed them to learn was done in those 10.5 hours. Okay, and again after the Easter it was 7.5, and then for exam practice it was 4.5. So using time to break things down. So for example, if you've got an exam in 2 weeks' time, you'd be able to say to yourself, right, remember you've got other exams in between them, but you've got to say to yourself, let's say that you had religious studies and your topics were Christianity and Islam. And within Christianity and Islam, you'd then break down what are the things that I need to know. So I need to know who was the founder of Christianity, where did it come from, I need information on the Bible, etc. The same thing with Islam, how is Muhammad relevant, and all, you'd break all of those things down. But you'd say to yourself, okay, so I've got 2 weeks, I've got 7 different topics to learn. Let me break that down. So that means 3.5 topics per week. Okay, so then you're now in a situation where you're like, okay, so over the next 2 weeks I have to study 3.5 of my topics for religious studies. So therefore I think I need to do about an hour's worth of revision for each. Straight away you have allocated 3.5 hours. Add another hour on there just for a bit of extra, 4.5 hours. So over the next 2 weeks you have to do 4.5 hours every week on religious studies. And if you've broken it down into the fact that you've got to study topic 1, topic 2, topic 3 in week 1, and then topic 4, topic 5, topic 6 in week 2, then you're putting yourself in a good position. Okay, so anyway, back to the folder. So break that down. Literally, this goes in the front of my folder. Hold on. I know some of you are looking at and you're going to be thinking, oh my God, Miss, this is so basic, we know. Sorry, Nadia. This is so basic, we know. So I've got that in the front there, and then I've got my mark scheme there, so I can always refer back to. The other thing is, with my anxiety, part and parcel of that is that I second guess everything. So part of me thinks I know the answer, but I have to have reassurance. So if I've got something like that at the beginning, then I can refer back to that and think, am I studying if I'm sitting there doubting I'm studying the right topic or I've got the right gist of it, go back to see what the exam board's asking for, what's the mark scheme asking you for, and are you following that? Okay. Then we've got these lovely little things here called dividers. Yeah, hopefully you've all seen those. If you haven't, you need to fix up, and hopefully if you haven't seen these, you're not one of my ex-students. I hope not anyway, and if you are, then please don't admit it to me, okay? But just nice set of dividers. I've got 5 here, and I've just broken it down. So I've got the cosmological argument, I've got religious experience, psychology and religion, and then the last 2 I've got mark scheme and past papers. So you should be getting used to completing past papers. If you are at GCSE study level now and you are not completing past papers, oh my god, sorry, as I was saying, if you are at GCSE level and you're not completing past papers, then you're going to struggle, because at this level, and then AS level and university level, it's not necessarily about the content that you know, it's about how you answer that content, because the examiner or the exam board is looking for something in particular. So please be really aware of that. So the 4th one, mark schemes and past papers, and the 5th one I've got at the back of there, useful articles. Now a lot of you should be doing independent study. Don't just rely on what your teachers have given you. Think about, okay, what can I study myself? There are so many, you're watching YouTube right now, there are so many videos on YouTube that will probably help you, or you might be able to understand a topic a bit better. So you could kind of have a note, a piece of paper there, note paper, and just be writing website links, things that saving things in a category and organising it onto your YouTube, or looking at articles and printing them off and highlighting them and looking at the key things. With a topic like religious studies, you will get more marks if you're able to articulate your opinion as well as using the facts. Okay, so I want each and every one of you, okay, I've got other things here, so you get these little handy little divider tabs that you can stick onto there so that you can easily organise your folder, okay? But you should have something like that, and you should have your little tabs, and your notes should all be organised like that, so that when you look at your timetable and it says, right, Monday I'm revising religious experience, you can turn straight to the religious experience section and start revising instead of wasting time, okay? I'd like you guys to comment and let me know if you didn't already have your folders organised to this extent. If you found this useful, I want you to go out there and create a folder for at least one of your subjects. And if you're going to choose just one and you can't be bothered to do it for all of them, then choose the one that you find most difficult, because if you can make that one easier, if you can make life easier to revise that and study that, then that'll be brilliant. And when you've done that, please comment below. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let me know if there's other topics that you'd like me to cover. All right? Good luck, guys. Happy studying. Keep focused. Remember, do not waste this week. Yes, it's a week of rest, and yes, you need to switch off and have some you time, but please make sure you do not waste this time. Okay? Take care. Speak to you soon. Bye.